Hello, my name is Brianna Sinclair. I am a transgender woman of, well, this is my 7th week on HRT, but before then I'd come out as transgender for a year, so I guess a year and 7 weeks, really. Um, my measurements update, my hips are 34 and a quarter inches, my bust is 34 and a quarter inches, and my waist is 25 and a half inches. So the only real changes in my hips and my bust, um, I'm not 100% sure as to, like, Mindy, stop messing with the camera. Sorry, my cat's in here messing with that camera. Hey! Um, so any changes that I've noticed as of right now, my emotional range is the same as it was last time. I think I'm becoming more tolerant to it, so that's good, and my hormone regimen has not changed. I'm still taking a total of 4 pills a day, accumulatively, and do you just want to say hi to everybody? Here, there we go. Yeah, say hi. um, my breast growth is underway, essentially. I have like this small disc underneath my areola. That's that doesn't really mean anything, but it's about the size of a shooter marble and a smaller marble if you were to take their combined diameters and make that a whole circle. Yeah, he's not used to seeing me like this. um, I'm kind of got this little thing going on where I like colored lipstick, so today's color is purple. I think last week was red, or it might have been. I think there was another time it was blue. Um, my sex drive is still the same. It's still annoying, and it is still just as frustrating for me to satisfy myself as normal. I have noticed that my muscles, I am getting fatigued consistently easier, and this was the first week I did notice that I could not lift something that I normally should be able to lift, and it is what it is. My chest still hurts from my breast growth, so there is that as well. Um, I have kind of continuously noticed periodically that my skin does get a little bit softer, which is kind of nice. Um, and I enjoy that. Hello. Um, Other than that, I'm not sure what else there is to report. Let's see. We did muscle development, emotions, sex drive, breast growth. Oh, I have not noticed my hair growth change at all, to be honest with you. I know some people say that it slows down whenever you start HRT because of the estrogen. I have not noticed anything, to be honest with you. Not a single thing. It's still just as fast as it was. Um, I'm still a little just as tired as I normally would be because of the lack of testosterone, which is as expected. I think it's as expected, at least. Let's see. Yeah. Overall, this week has been very good for my transition. I'm noticing a lot more things. My my nipples are still pretty sore, and they are also always very stiff. So I've had to start wearing nipple covers to kind of hide them a little bit because I think it kind of gives away that something is going on. So I have started to hide them a little bit with nipple covers and a bra that I wear all day, every day. Today's probably the first day that I've not worn a bra in a little while, and that's just for this video. Well, hello there. I don't get a whole lot of, like, people, like, really misgendering me, to be honest with you. Most people are more confused than anything. So, I don't really have anything to report there, because usually they'll either say ma'am and they'll try and correct it, in which case I tell them it's okay. Because I do understand it's kind of questionable right now whether or not I'm a boy or girl. I kind of dress androgynously to not offend people, and my voice doesn't help. I'm very soft-spoken, so I know a lot of you have a rough time hearing me, so I am trying to speak up a little bit more and work on my voice feminization techniques, so that way it doesn't come out super masculine, because I don't want to be just a man in a dress. I know I'm still at that point, but I don't want to be perceived that way, because it's not good for me. And I try and make everybody happy, including myself. Both of my jobs are still pretty okay with everything. I'm currently still waiting on my exception to policy to be approved, so that way I can start growing my nails out a little bit. I can actually grow my hair out instead of wearing a wig, because he's not even used to me having long hair. I do have short hair. I just wear this because it makes me feel good. These videos are me and my maximum femininity in whatever I choose and whatever I feel like wearing for the night. And because I like to sew, I wear things that, like, either I sew or that really just make me feel comfortable. So far, I think I've worn one thing I've sewn so far, but that's because I don't have a whole lot to sew. Excuse you. So I don't really have a whole lot yet. I'm still learning, and I'm still doing everything I can to learn how. I am excited for, like, my breast growth and to see the progress. Not excited for the pain, but it is kind of a happy moment at the same time, because I can feel it, like, the pain kind of is synonymous with it growing in my mind, which is fine with me, because at some point I know it'll stop. It's not going to hurt forever. It's probably going to be sensitive forever, but it's not going to hurt. Are you trying to eat my hair? What is wrong with you? You've seen me like this. My wife is still getting used to me being like this. She doesn't get to see me this feminine, but she does get to see me somewhat feminine. And she's slowly getting used to it. And I do appreciate that, because I know it's not easy. She's going through her own journey, but we know we're going to get through it together. Because this is a lot for her too, and I think if you're in a relationship, the key to making that work is to also recognize that they're going through something as well. So to be patient with it. I have said that before, and it's a lot easier said than done. I consider myself one of the most patient people in the world, and I do find myself losing my patience as well. because I want my marriage to work out just as much as the next person who wants it to as well. And I need you to stop messing with the cameras. So it's important for that, to me at least, that I give it the best go I can. Yeah, my marriage does mean a lot to me, because there's something about finding your person and proposing to them that should mean a lot more than what it does nowadays. But I'm a little bit more traditional in that sense anyway. To me, it means that I choose to spend the rest of my life with that person, and I'm gonna try to as best I can, because that's what I promised to do. And my transition changes nothing about that promise to me. Nothing. Because if I had a choice, I wish everything was exactly the same as it was before I came out and decided to transition. Except I wish I wanted to be a girl. I needed to be a girl. Because my marriage was perfect. And we're getting through our issues, and we both want things to be the way they were. We both do. And it would be easier to not transition. Transitioning is not easy by any stretch of the imagination at all, because you're kind of raised a certain way, grown to act a certain way, and you're taught to expect certain things and to do certain things that betray you in a way, as far as like what you want if you want to change. You like tail swipe me. So like I still occasionally find myself doing like the little male nod, where like if you see somebody you recognize and that you make eye contact or something like that. It's weird, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's this self-conscious nod that boys do that is a hard habit to break, and I'm slowly but surely breaking it. Sorry, he tail swiped me and I've got hair all over my face now. There we go. You are the worst. Just kidding. And like holding the door open for people, it is hard, but I do kind of associate that mostly with a male characteristic. However, I do it for everyone, men, women, what have you, because I don't really care. I care about what people think of me as regards to like my safety, because if I feel like if I'm gonna do something that's gonna put me in danger, I shouldn't do it. So I dress androgynously instead of like going out in like this kind of skimpy little skirt that I'm wearing right now, or dress. I'm gonna say it's a dress, because I would fear for my safety in this outside, because I'm in the deep south. They're not too accepting of the LGBTQ community, and with Project 2025 being a very real thing that even the Sparta military group is afraid of, which worries me, because if they're afraid, I feel like I should be afraid, because the military is directly affected by the commander-in-chief, and that's our president. So what he says goes. And as much as I'm not a fan of either candidate, I have to vote a certain way to maintain my transition. Because there is an agenda as far as like our transitions go. And financially, I think Republicans have great ideas. But socially, I have to vote democratically to maintain my abilities to transition in this society. Because sorry, I get it. My emotions, I guess, are a little different, and I might have accidentally been a little dishonest about it. I wish society was more accepting to us because we're not doing anything wrong. We're not hurting anybody, and we're not going after people. I couldn't care less if the generation after me had a single transgender person, because this is a hard journey. I don't wish this so far on like my enemies because it is so hard. It's insane to have a different set of priorities as far as like what you need, what you want, and what's good for not only you but for those around you. So thinking about other people and my own protection is something that I never really had to do. As a boy, I could throw on a boxy t-shirt and some jeans and whatever shoes I wanted, and it didn't matter if they matched or not, because there were no expectations. But now, if I were to go out in a dress, there is a high probability that where I'm at, I wouldn't even make it home. And things get crazy just because it's an election year anyway. But I do fear that I won't even be able to make these videos for my audience anymore if Project 2025 becomes a thing. And if there's not a single transgender person, at least there's record of us somewhere. We've been here since, I'm not going to say the dawn of history, but for thousands of years. And a lot of the earlier stories are terrifying. About people being forced to transition because they look a certain way or they act a certain way. That is terrifying to me because it's the exact opposite of what should be happening. People should be transitioning because they need to, not because somebody else said that they should. You can't change somebody's gender. Your sex you're born with, your gender, is a social construct that is very fluid based on you. But people can't change that. You can change that. If you so desire, in a way. I do believe that there are things that can influence our gender. At some point in time, it becomes concrete. And since we're all different, I believe there are exceptions to everything, socially. And I have learned that that is even more true in biology, because my degree is in science. I believe the facts are the facts. That's all I'm here to report. I'm not here to lie to you and tell you what I wish was true and that this was just all sunshine and rainbows. It's hard. It's hard. It's not for the faint of heart. But so far, it's been amazing. There's a different level of social acceptance that comes with it, and that, in my opinion, has made up for a lot. The women I work with know, for the most part, and they're more than accepting of it. They think it's actually really cool and interesting, because they didn't have to do this. I'm going through essentially puberty a second time in a way, but they've never had to completely change their gender. Or sex, I guess. I'm swapping those words because to me they are very usually they're synonymous. In my case, they are not. So I can usually use them interchangeably. I apologize. I just got off work and I've been working all day. But I make these videos because to me they are important. It is important for me to tell everybody my experience so I can educate everybody that cares to know. And if anybody wants to know my story, they can follow me. And if not, that's no harm, no foul. I don't do this for personal gain or anything. I gain nothing from this, except a little satisfaction that's told me that I could do it. And so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tell my story. I'm 29 years old and I am a transgender woman. I know I'm gonna hear for years that transgender women are men, but that's not true. In so many ways, that is not true. And I know there is a lot of debating around whether or not we should even be in sports. I have my own views because that gets very political, so I'm not going to share them. If anybody wants to know my opinions, they can ask, but my opinions are my own. And that's it. My opinions are very fluid. If somebody presents me with evidence, I can see it from their point of view, I'm more than happy to change my opinion. Because I'm an intelligent human being. But not many people will debate me on that. But you're more than welcome to. I'm not a strong debater. And I don't hold my opinions very high in regard because I consider them very fluid. But if you can present me evidence that outweighs everything, I'll agree with you. But a lot of the topics I talk about, my transition being one of them, I only know from my personal experience and the experience of others that I've followed. I've listened to a lot of other women like me go through their journeys, and that way I could know what to expect and what to look for, so that I could monitor what I wanted to. And their journeys are beautiful. and amazing to me. Just to name a few would be Matilda Hodgegrass, I think. I might be mispronouncing that name, so if I mispronounce your name, I'm sorry, girl. I'm blanking out because I'm nervous, because I get nervous in front of people, and to me, I'm in front of the world. But yeah, Matilda, Samantha Lux, a couple others. I do apologize if I am forgetting your name. There's a lot of us out there, and we're all just here recording our journeys. Samantha Lux is very intelligent. She's more than capable of debating any political view as far as transgender people go. I'm not going to debate her, and my opinions are very different from hers in some ways. She's very intelligent. I agree with her in so many ways. We will disagree on some things, but at the end of the day, I believe that we want the same things. We just want to be free to transition, and we want the other people like us to be free to transition in safety and peace. Because we're not after people's children or anything like that. I think we can agree, and I apologize if she thinks that I am speaking for her. I think we can agree on that one. And that's pretty much it. We don't want anything other than to tell our stories and to just live in peace. It is hard enough as it is with other people thinking that we're men trying to invade women's spaces and stuff like that. And whenever they get physical is where it gets really terrifying. Because a lot of people are more than happy to fight us and to essentially take us out of the population, to say the least. I'm phrasing it that way as to not get this video taken down or canceled in any way. Because that has happened. And even legally, it's legal to do so in certain situations, because they'll phrase it as like they were surprised. Like on a date is usually how that goes. And that's very wrong. In my mind, that is very, very wrong. And just opens it up for discrimination. I don't go in female spaces usually. It is very rare that I do. Very, very rare. And usually one of my jobs requires me to, because at one of my other jobs I do electrical work in the female bathrooms. So I always have to make sure that there's no women in the bathroom before I go in, because that is procedure, and I operate by procedure, because that is what is safest for me. At my other job, I'll only go into the ladies' restroom to either clean up or to use it in the instance that the female one is full, because they're a single stall. So I am not, it is impossible for me to even be accused of trying to be some form of pervert. Because I know that's what some people will say, and a lot of people will say that if they let transgender women into the female restrooms, that opens it up for men to say that they're transgender women, and that's not okay. It's not okay by any stretch of the imagination. And yes, it's illegal, but laws only limit the people that follow them. They don't limit the people that are just going to break them anyway. So, I only go in there whenever I have to. And as much as I consider myself a woman now, I do what is safest for me, for those following in my footsteps, and for those around me. There's a lot to do, and I have a long way to go. I would hate to miss it. And I hope that everyone watching this video sticks around and gets to see the woman I become at the end, because I have a long way to go. My journey's just beginning. And my voice therapy sessions are not, they're mostly self-governed, and I practice them whenever I get the chance, so my voice has a long way to go. Some people will say it's like a second face, and it is. My voice betrays me all the time. I get compliments on it sometimes, saying it's like the perfect amount of masculine or feminine. But I would rather it sound 100% feminine to me. So that way I can pass. And I do have like a little app on my phone that I'll read scripts from and try and monitor my voice, the pitch and the flow, and I'll re-listen to it, and I'll make little tweaks here and there to kind of fix it and see where I can go, and I'm trying to improve on that. And that's what I do for my voice lessons. I have to be very careful to not strain my voice, because if I go too long, it's hard for me to even practice the next day. But I make these videos once a week. And so I check in with everybody once a week. But if you like these videos, please like, comment, subscribe. Please feel free to reach out and ask questions. And if you want any advice, I'll give you what I can. And if I don't know the answer, I will find it. Because there are questions not even I have asked yet. I don't have all the answers. I would be a fool to even lie to you and say that I do. But asking questions only helps us both. Worst case scenario, we both learn something new. Or the best case scenario in some ways. We both learn something new. And I always like learning something new. They say you stop improving the moment you stop trying to learn something. So we should try and learn at least one thing new every day. Challenge me to learn something new. I would love to hear it. It would be great to see what y'all think about as far as like our transitions. If you're not transgender, if you are transgender, I would love to be a part of it. Only to help. I don't want you to mention me at all, because I don't care. I'm not doing this for me, I'm doing this for everybody else. Like I said, I get no monetary value from this at all. But yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, ask questions. Feel free, be bold, and live life the way you want to. This is Brianna Sinclair signing off on her 7th week of transitioning, or HRT.